Hi, my dear students. Hey, we are going to discussing about income inequalities in India. So, before going to this topic, we are discussing about what is income inequality, and what about income inequalities in India. What are the impact of income inequalities in India, and what are the causes of income inequalities, and what are the policies of the governments to eradicate the income inequalities in India, and income inequalities description of Lorenz curve through one diagram. So this is the brief explanation of income inequalities. Income inequalities topic. Now, income inequality. So, the meaning of income inequality. So income inequality in India, especially in India, refers the unequal distribution of wealth and income among its citizens. This is the simple and brief explanation of income inequality. So in our India, there is a lot of differences between rich and poor. One person having so much money and highly rich, and at the same time, other side, one person don't have any, at least minimum standard of living money. So that person also called very poor. So rich and poor variations are very huge in our India. So that is the reason to arise income inequalities in India, between the differences between rich and poor. So income inequality means unequal distribution of wealth and income among its citizens in particular country or area. So there is a lot of income inequality differences in India, especially after the implementation of new economic reforms, and the income inequality distribution is measured by one index that is called Gini index, GINI, Gini index. Gini index means Gini is the one type of measure index. So inequality value is Gini index inequality value is in India is now 35.2. Among world countries, out of 157 countries, India's ranking in Gini index 95th rank. Out of 157 countries, India's Gini index rank is 95th in the world, and 54% of countries' wealth is controlled by millionaires, as like big business groups in India, Ambani's, Tata's, Birla's, and some other billionaires. So percent of Indians own 58.4% of wealth. So in our population, the richest top 10 personalities of our Indian society own 58.4% of the wealth. So almost all huge share of wealth concentration in low percent of rich people. So that people very in number very low. That means 1 to 10% only. So that 1 to 10% people occupies 58.4% above wealth. And according to IMF, International Monetary Fund, India's Gini coefficient is 0.151 in 2013. According to IMF, India's Gini coefficient is 0.51 in 2013. And the bottom 10% of Indian society owned only 0.2% of wealth only. The upper 10% having 58.4% of wealth, and the bottom 10% of Indian society owned only 0.2% of wealth. This is the huge variation between rich and poor in our India. So at the same time, the richest 10% share 77% of the wealth. So this is the most wealth and income inequality variations between rich and poor. Impact means effect. What is the impact of income inequalities in our India? So income inequality has a negatively impacted poor citizens' access to education and health care. Especially income inequalities has negatively impacted poor citizens' access to their education and health care. So most of the poor people don't have better education and better hospital, nutritious food, health care, sanitation, drinking water, safe drinking water. These are the lapses of the poor people of our India due to income inequalities. And rising income inequality makes it difficult for the poor to climb up the economic ladder and increases their risk of being victims to poverty trap. So rising inequality leads to poor. So that poor people, they don't increase their lives, and they are also victims to poverty trap. So those are under below poverty line. So those are under called below poverty line, BPL. That is called poverty trap. So this trap is most dangerous. Now in India, almost all 35 crores of the people under in poverty trap. That means under below poverty line, BPL. That is called BPL. And now we are going to the impact of income inequalities in India and another PPT. People living at the bottom 10% are characterized by low wages, long working hours, lack of basic services such as first aid, drinking water, and sanitation. So, people living at the bottom 10%, they are having very low wages, long working hours, lack of basic services. That means first aid, drinking water, sanitation. These are the some basic needs of the poor people, but they don't have health and first aid facilities, safe drinking water, and proper sanitation and environment. So almost all bottom 10% people have facing so many problems in our India. And inequality has been rising sharply for the last 3 decades. And the inequality has been rising sharply for the last 3 decades. So the last 3 decades, that means 90s, 80s, 90s, and 2000 to 2010, These last 3 decades are implementing period of new economic reforms. So these are affecting on poor people also. So almost all middle class people going under the BPL category. Some middle class people increased above middle class range. Some other people has converted to millionaires and billionaires, but most of the people are converted to below poverty line. This is the one of the major cause. And the richest have garnered a huge part of the wealth created through crony capitalism and inheritance. So the richest people arise due to some public policies. That means government policies. Government have favored some big favor to millionaires and billionaires and some popular business groups in our India. That is called crony capitalism. The government ministers and government department and government officials favor to some range of people. That is called crony capitalism. Crony capitalism. This is the term derived from some other experts, as like our ex-Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, etc. So this is called crony capitalism. And inheritance. Inheritance means big business groups, sons and daughters and other family members. And next, these widening gaps and rising inequalities affect women and children the most. In our India, the gaps between rich and poor, rising inequalities also affecting on especially women and the children. And now we are going to discussing about the data. The latest data, the top 10% population in our India holds 77% of wealth. 77% of wealth. And richest 1% generated 73% wealth in 2017 data. According to 2017 data, top 10% population in India holds 77% of wealth, and the richest 1% people generated 77% wealth. So in the number means in the millions. 67 million poor people having 1% health. 67 million means 6.7 crore people. That is called 6 crores 70 lakhs people. 6 crores 70 lakhs people having 1% wealth. So that means 6.7 crore million people having 1% wealth means that is also called poor people. And this leads to some other people rising very rich. That is called, there are 119 billionaires in India. There are 119 billionaires. 1 billionaire means above 100 crores of the property. Billion means 100 crores. Billionaire means above 100 crores. Those who are having above 100 crores, that is called billionaire. That is called billionaire. So in India, there are 119 billions are in India now. And between 2018 and 2020-22 to be expected and to be estimated, India estimates to produce 70 new millionaires every day. Every day, 70 new millionaires were added. Millionaire means 10 lakhs above income. Every day, 70 new millionaires were added to our population between 2018 and 22. And now, in our India, billionaires having 24,422 billion worth of wealth. 24,422 billion rupees of wealth. Most of the billionaires having 24,422 billion wealth. So 63 million people are pushed to poverty. These leads to almost all 63 million people are pushed to poverty. That means 6 lakhs 36 crores 30 lakhs people are pushed to pushed to poverty. So 63 million, almost all 6 crores above people are pushed to poverty. And it would take, for example, 941 years for a minimum wage worker in rural India compared to top paid executive. One top paid executive income is in future one minimum wage worker earning after 941 years. After 941 years, they are getting compared to top paid executive of our India. So this is the situation of income inequalities in India. So in India, those who are having or on a particular field gaining or having per month or per day population on top paid executive is equal to minimum wage worker after getting 941 years of the wage. This is the very huge differences. And India is among the top most unequal country in the world. After Russia, India is the second place. The number one is India. In the world, the number one place is Russia. After Russia, India among the top 3 most unequal countries in the world. India is having second place. And the experts blame increased penetration of technology and industrialization. So technology and industrialization is the cause for the increasing inequalities. This is the case. The main reason some more experts blame the technology and industrialization, but that is the not right cause. Technology and industrialization is desirable. This is necessary of our country's condition. But some people blame technology should not be considered an adversary. It should be seen as a tool to address poverty and inequality. Yes, sometimes technology and industrialization also boost the country and to eradicate the inequalities and poverty. So technology and industrialization impact in the technology and industrialization induces employment. The employment leads to incomes. The income leads to eradicate the inequalities and poverty. So technology and income is desirable. And unequal delivery of returns increase the wealth and income gap. Unequal deliveries means rich and poor people unequal incomes and returns also increase the wealth and income gap. And the value of targeting inequality at a time when poverty must be the primary concern is being debated. The value of targeting inequality at a time when poverty must be the primary concern is being debated. So inequality and poverty and unemployment, those are interrelated. Both are. These 3 concepts are interrelated: inequality, poverty, and unemployment. And technology-based interventions may be able to deliver solution for both. Yes, in our India, technology and industrialization also most important. So those technologies and industrializations or interventions may be able to deliver solution for both eradication of inequalities and poverty. In India, inequality worsened the most between 2000 and 2007. Yes, between 2000 and 2007, most of the highest inequality has worsened in the country, and the top 10% received 55% income. So horizontal inequality that continues to exist in India, the horizontal inequality also that continues to exist in India. So according to trickle-down hypothesis, the trickle-down is one of the most important concept in the economy. Trickle-down means the highest development stimulates the lower grade people. That is called trickle-down effect. According to trickle-down hypothesis, this is the development theory. Trickle-down means higher income growth at the top of the distribution are not correlated with higher growth at the bottom. So according to trickle-down theory, higher income growth correlate to accelerate the lower income people. But in our India, the theory failed. Trickle-down theory failed. Higher income growth at the top of the distribution are not accelerated, are not stimulate, are not accelerated, are not useful with higher growth at the bottom. Bottom means low income people. That is called poor people. This is all the most important. And another, what are the causes of income inequalities in India? The first cause is unemployment. Already I told unemployment, inequality, poverty, unemployment. Those are three. The above three concepts are interrelated. So what inequality leads to poverty. Poverty leads to unemployment. Unemployment leads to poverty. Poverty leads to inequality. So those are interrelated. And another cause is inflation. So inflation means inflation is increasing the prices of continuously increases the price of the goods. That is called inflation. Inflation means continuous increase in the prices of the goods and services. So this leads to fall in the standard of living of the poor people. Poor people having low income, but highly inflation leads to decrease the standard of living of the poor people. This is of the worst scenario of the poor people due to falling their purchasing power. Their purchasing power also very low due to inflation. So this is the situation very crucial crucial in our India now. Most of the poor people facing inflation problems and inequality in ownership of assets. This is also most of the assets are concentrated in rich people, under the hands of rich and big business people. Most of the assets. So this is also most important reason of the inequality. And the loss of inheritance. Inheritance means grandfather, grandmother, grandfather, grandson, grandfather, father, grandson. So that particular assets are transferred to one single family. That is called inheritance. Inheritance. And cost of professional training. So lack of professional training also leads to inequality and low performance of the poor people. And tax evasion. Tax evasion. Tax evasion also one of the most important problem. And corruption and smuggling. So in India, this is the most social evil and the most major problem now in our government sector, especially. Most of the departments hire persons to lower clerical persons, from boss to clerical people. continues the corruption and smuggling, corruption in our India, and smuggling also one of the most important social problem for any type of situation. And burden of indirect taxes. So this is also most important. In India, most of the taxes imposed on goods and services now GST. This is the most important tax to impose in our India. So these indirect taxes imposes on every good. This leads to highest price of the goods. That leads to affected on poor people of our country. And also our tax system structure regressive in nature, but tax structure progressive in nature is very helpful to poor people, but our tax structure is regressive in nature. Regressive means if the income rises, the tax rate decreases. Income rises, tax rate decreases. So higher grade income people also benefited that type of tax structure. That is called regressive tax structure. And forms of inequalities in India. So there are different forms of inequalities in India. For example, inequality in the sense of income, that is called income inequality, and inequality in the sense of consumption expenditure, and the inequality in the sense of asset holding, and the regional inequalities. So these are the major forms of inequalities in India: income inequalities, consumption expenditure inequalities, asset holding inequalities, and regional inequalities. And in India, inequality of income is calculated based on data of consumption distribution. This data is provided by National Sample Survey Office. This is the sample survey organization, that is called NSSO, National Sample Survey Office. And the rural and urban breakup also contribute to more inequalities. Rural poor and urban poor. So those are both are facing so many problems in our India. Rural poor and urban poor both are facing so many problems, and they don't have minimum basic amenities in rural area also and in urban area. So this is also one of the important factors. And now we are going to discussing government policies to reduce inequalities in India. What are the government measures? What are the government policies to take up to reduce income inequalities in India? For example, our government implemented land reforms. Land reforms slightly impact on our rural people, but that implements through land reforms, tenant reforms, and other acts for removing inequalities, but little bit influence of the rural people. So land reforms also failed in our India. And expansion of public sector. After 1991 new economic reforms, the expansion of public sector also most important to reduce the inequalities in our India. And small scale industry and encouraging small scale industry in India. This is also most important. These types of micro, small, medium enterprises, these type of industries more opportunities to poor people and middle class people of our India. These micro, small, medium enterprises gives most opportunities to unemployed youth of the country. So encouraging micro, small, medium and enterprises in our India is a very boost to eradicate the some employment in India. And MRTPS Act in 1916, and this act also one of the government policy to reduce the economic power concentration. This act main aim is to reduce the economic power concentration in our India. That is called MRTPS Act. This act full form of abbreviation is Monopolies Restriction Trade Practices Act. MRTPS Act. Monopolies Restrictions Trade Practices Act. So this act to control the economic power of the country. And now some other employment generation and poverty alleviation programs also to generate income of rural people and urban people. So many employment generation programs and income generation programs now implemented in India. Most of the central government programs are implemented through our state governments. For example, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme and some other old schemes. So these schemes are, so many schemes are helpful to rural people and urban people to eradicate poverty alleviation, and also self-employment generation programs. Almost all number of programs implemented through central government, implemented by central government through state governments, and some other pricing policies. Pricing policies means government gives some subsidies of people. For example, subsidies giving on rice, wheat, sugar, etc. through fair price shops in our India. So these pricing policies, other side some subsidies gives to some weaker sections, transfer payments, gas subsidies, fertilizer subsidies, farmer loans subsidies. These are the some basic subsidies and basic amenities also for weaker sections. This is also one of the price making policy, and correct regional imbalances through some aid by central government. These imbalances occur in our different state governments. Government of India gives some granting aids and special status to some states, especially northeastern states. That is called Easanya Rashtralu. That is called having special status. The Andhra Pradesh residual Andhra Pradesh after division of Telangana, Andhra, the government of AP also demands special status, and also desert development program, district prone area, drought prone area program, DPAP, DDP, desert development program, and DPAP, drought prone area program. These programs also benefited some regional states, and backward districts development program, and some backward linkages and forward linkages in our poor states to linkage the poor and rich, and also 5-year plans. So 5-year plans also giving more priority to overcome the income inequalities. And now I am going to concluding economic inequality and impact the GDP. This income inequalities impact the GDP per capita. It gives rise some crime rates, destabilizing the society and creating social problems in the society. So this is the most important the raising and income inequalities in our India. This leads to economic inequalities. That leads to low per capita income and gives rise to crime rates, destabilizing the society and creating social problems in the society. So government imitation, government initiation. So the government of India also initiates universal public services for poorer sections. So government initiates universal public services for poorer sections, and inequality leads to serious economic and social consequences. This is also one of the most. But after concluding, I am also giving one another PPT, the graphical effect on income inequalities to Lorenz curve. Lorenz explained some graphical representation of the income inequalities. So Lorenz curve is a graphical representation of distribution of income or wealth developed by Max O. Lorenz, inequality of the wealth distribution. For example, the Lorenz curve. So in the x-axis, cumulative share of people from lowest to highest income, and cumulative share of income earned at y-axis. In the x-axis, cumulative share of people from lowest to highest income. Cumulative share of people from lowest to highest income. And y-axis, cumulative share of income earned. The straight line of equality value is equal to 0. The curve, Lorenz curve, that is called the curve value is equal to 0 to 1. That is bending curve, Lorenz curve. That is, and the straight line and curve, the area between the curve and straight line area, that is called indicates A, capital A. That area, capital A area, is the inequality area. That is, and capital B below the inequality area. This is called inequality. So this curve shifts to straight line, there is no inequality. So this curve enlarged to in the area of B. So there is a lot of income inequalities. This is the curve shows the income inequalities, the income earned persons. So the cumulative share of people from lowest to highest income, that is called Gini coefficient. This is called x by x plus y. X by x plus y formula, Gini coefficient formula. That value is equal to 0 to 1. 0 to 1. And analyze the diagram. Gini coefficient represents the income or wealth distribution. Gini coefficient represents the income or wealth distribution of a nation residents, and is the mostly used measurement of inequality developed by Corrado Gini. So he is the Italian economist. This curve developed by Gini, Corrado Gini. So Gini developed the Gini coefficient, that is called formula x by x plus y. So x by x plus y, that is the formula of Gini coefficient, that developed by Corrado Gini. So Gini index measures levels of income and measure of inequality of income or wealth. And Gini index 0 expresses perfect equality. That is, 0 expresses perfect equality. Everyone has the same income. And Gini index 1 expresses maximum inequality, and the Gini index is usually based on Lorenz curve, which plots total income of population y-axis and cumulative earning of population at x-axis. So this is the representation of income inequalities through Lorenz curve in our lesson. This is also one of the most important concepts for explaining the income inequalities in India, in any other country. So now I am conclude this topic, income inequalities in India.